They
Recording
do.
in
They
progress.
do know your name.
They do. They know
Mm-hmm.
who I am. I don't need a name tag that says you know who I am. We just know.
That's awesome. I'm here for that. I'm here for your journey. Hey, Steph.
Thank you.
I took a. I've learned the power of lunch naps. They're amazing. Can I ask you if this fantasy is really weird?
How are these thoughts connected? Before you get into that,
It's Star Wars related.
power of lunch naps, weird fantasy, Star Wars related. I feel like this is a Mad Lib.
No. Well, it could be. It could be.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Okay. So I had a dream today
Uh huh.
where I was in a Lando sandwich. It was Solo Lando and Rise of Skywalker Lando. Is that weird?
No, but let me tell you why.
Uh oh.
Lando would be down.
Facts.
Lando would 100% be down to tag team somebody with Lando. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I know you've never seen 30 Rock before, but there's a character named Jack Donaghy, and
Mhm.
he goes through, like, there's an episode where he has a weird mental breakdown where he sees past self and older self, and they're all three of them are like talking together, and at one point one of them says, "So, are we gonna like do it now?" And everybody's like, "Oh yeah, sure, of course."
Yeah. Yeah, that tracks. That
Yeah,
tracks.
yeah,
That's a
that's
good
totally
thing.
Lando.
I think it's adorable that you've just discovered the power of lunch naps. Um, I have to take a nap every day. If I'm not horizontal on a sleeping surface by 1 o'clock, my body will just make that happen. And whatever surface I'm on, that's where we're sleeping. So that's really cute that you've discovered the power of lunch naps.
I'm not a good napper. I'm really not. I'm not a good sleeper in general. I've just never been able
Mhm.
to like
Oh, I
sleep
know.
eight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm an insomniac. You know that. So that's just
I,
how I am.
I used to live with you, and you didn't exactly go up and down the stairs like a delicate flower. Between you and the other roommate, it was like living with a small herd of water buffalo.
Okay, but you prefer, but you preferred my noises to our roommates.
I
So
Oh, yes. No, that's accurate. That's just facts.
memories. Hey,
I can't
so we're
remember
doing something
mine.
crazy today, Steph. So
We are. We are.
I think we should intro the show.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to do that. Here we go. Should I introduce this like a podcast?
Yeah, I mean,
That
this
way.
is effectively that's essentially what we're doing. It's just on video,
Okay. Okay. This isn't weird.
right?
I feel so because like I usually have like there's like a barricade. There's like my soundproof thingamabobber is like right here and stuff. And I've got like multiple programs running and like Audacity's not even open right. I don't know. This seems very strange. But I can, you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm a Taurus. I'm embracing change today.
Yeah, you totally are. You're doing such a good job of it by like
It's
talking
not
about
making
it.
I'm not sweating about it or anything.
Is this part of your homework?
Shut up. No, I'm actually sweating because once again, for
It's
the sake
500
of audio
degrees.
quality, I have to turn off all my fans in here.
Oh, the things you do for love and love of our podcast, love of our people, love of our
There it is.
patrons.
Yes, indeed. Okay, 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 okay. I got this. I'm good. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Dark Side Divas, the podcast slash video
Yeah.
situation. Cool. Where a woman and a gay man express their opinions about Star Wars. My name is Stephanie. I'm the woman half of the show, and I'm sweating for perfectly normal reasons.
And for you, that's a great intro.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go fuck yourself.
hey, everybody. I'm Chris. I'm the gay man. I am somebody that has no problem making their trick say yippee. And Stephanie, this is
Yeah.
getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Yes.
I don't mind two at the same
I
time. Just
know.
FYI.
No, we're
Just
just
FYI.
on top of it. Okay, so what we're usually doing on this show is we are watching through the entire Star Wars visual story in chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
However, where we are at with our podcast right now, with our chronological watch throughs, we just finished season 6 of Clone Wars. And that was 82 episodes?
Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
2 years and 82 podcast episodes since we first launched this podcast with our very good-natured, well-meaning attempt at analyzing episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So we have decided that we're going to go back and revisit, because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. The first time we went through this, we were just like really excited to be doing this at all. So we're going to be revisiting The Phantom Menace today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and basically we're going to be doing something a bit different in general. So we haven't done any Unleashed episodes because we don't have time to do all this stuff. But we really wanted to do something different and cool. For this to revisit Phantom Menace, our patrons have provided some really awesome questions, Stephanie.
Awesome.
And so for the
I
first
love them.
I know, I love them too.
They're so
For the first half of this episode, we're gonna make it publicly available on YouTube so people can check it out and see the kind of stuff that we're doing. And then I took notes of our first episode where we talked about Phantom Menace.
I listened to about 30 minutes of it, and then I cringed so hard my spine snapped, so I had to stop.
Well, I got some notes, and basically I think between that part of this episode will be a Patreon exclusive. It'd be something that if you want to watch the whole thing of this, you have to become a patron at patreon.com/Divas podcast, $5 a month. And yes, we are going to be doing this for Attack of the Clones too. That should be interesting because I listened to that episode today on our podcast, and woo, we had some things to say.
And it's going to be really interesting going back through these, because we are about to wrap up Clone Wars, and then it's right into Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, I did some research going back through Phantom Menace. I found a bunch of fucking cool trivia shit that I didn't catch the first time through. So this has actually been really, really interesting.
Well, we didn't do any trivia. We didn't do actors.
we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Hell, you even read the intro.
What the fuck was that about?
It was great. It was great.
Yeah.
I was like, I missed that. It was less work for me.
Not today, bitch. Not anymore. Today, bitch. This is the problem, is you demonstrated a genuine talent for doing the Admiral Yularen voice for the intro for Clone Wars, and now that's just your job forever.
I know, right? I know.
That's it. Anyway, so I tried to find like an audio of the announcer guy reading the audio opening crawl, and I couldn't find it. So,
well, why don't you do it?
What? Why don't you do it? You do a good announcer voice.
Okay.
You've done an excellent impression. Do you have the text?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Oh, go! I'm so excited. Go.
And a printer. Shit.
Coming again. Take 2.
There's so many big words, Heather. An impenetrable defense. Separatist ships blockade the resource-rich planet of Christophsis, trapping Senator Bail Organa and his relief effort. Desperate to aid the esteemed senator, a Republic task force under the command of Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker must break the impasse. But time runs short for the senator and the good citizens of Christophsis.
Ba.
But we ready to get right into it?
All right, so I guess we are talking about episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Do you want to get into the questions from the patrons?
We got an intro first.
Oh, we're doing the intro. Okay.
We're doing the intro.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Go, Christopher.
Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. Hoping to resolve the matter with the blockade of deadly battleships, the greedy Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. While the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. And that worked out well.
So, couple of things about that intro.
Mm-hmm.
So they were thinking a blockade of ships would like peaceably resolve the issue. Sure, Jan. Okay.
Well,
that's how peace happens, is you start lining up ships. But I do love that Chancellor Valorum was just like, can I send some Jedi? Don't tell anybody. Because it was very specifically secretly he sent it, which now, from the perspective of where we're at going through the story, implies that Valorum knew he was embattled and monitored and everything. So he had to, like, on the super sly, send out those Jedi.
Yeah. So, first question, as it pertains to that, Steph, because we just did the episodes that talked about Sifo-Dyas, and apparently Sifo-Dyas was doing some shit directly with Chancellor Valorum without
Right.
telling the Jedi Order.
Yeah,
Uh,
super secret shit.
Okide asked, I don't remember, I don't know their Discord name, so if you can tell me who you are, I don't. Some of y'all have different usernames. Do you think Chancellor Valorum asked the Jedi Council to send Qui-Gon Jinn, or did they have more of a direct relationship?
Huh. That's a solid question, because um we see through the Phantom Menace, like, there I had some big what the fuck moments again, because I've rewatched it for this. Uh the council was just like, okay, whatever, you found a boy and he's got crazy midichlorians. Can we put him over there? Let's talk about the politics, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Mm-hmm.
okay, whatever. There's fuck everything you're talking about. Living force, schmiving force. Naboo's been invaded, and there might be a Sith, and we're gonna use the Queen as bait to draw out the Sith. That's our plan right now. Like, so I think it's entirely plausible that Chancellor Valorum asked Qui-Gon directly, because he didn't have access to Sifo-Dyas at that time.
And
Because Sifo-Dyas was doing other shit for him.
yeah, and I
Like,
had to.
oh, girl, wait,
Uh-oh.
pause.
Uh-oh.
Look at the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Attack of the Clones, 10 years
Mm-hmm.
after Phantom Menace. Sifo-Dyas is striking the deal with the Kaminoans right now.
Right.
That's why this isn't the Sifo-Dyas show.
It's a
Valorum
Qui-Gon Jinn
couldn't,
show.
yeah, Valorum couldn't send Sifo-Dyas. Sifo-Dyas was already busy.
Okay, headcanon. So I'm picturing Valarum's like, I need Sifo-Dyas right now. You, and then assistant's like, nope, you already sent him to a mission. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Shit. What about that stoner Jedi?
The one who's a master, nobody can really tell him what to do, but he's not on the council. That
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Let's get that one.
Yeah. Let's get that
Mhm.
one. That's it. That's
And
canon.
they called him on his Gillette razor.
I love that. That was great. So yeah, we said it in the podcast. This was fucking Qui-Gon's show,
Yeah.
or movie, and so we did get a bunch of questions about Qui-Gon specifically. No
Excellent.
surprise there. And as of this filming, y'all, we're in a post Obi-Wan Kenobi world. We see
Right.
Qui-Gon Jinn force ghosting. I cried like a bitch, of course. Our patron Kelly asks, "I love to hear you guys discuss
Hey, Kelly.
Qui-Gon putting all of his cards behind Anakin," which he certainly did.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that it? Okay.
That was a question. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he absolutely did. He was like, Obi-Wan, dude, you're 25, out of the nest, because he is Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, he was born in 57 BBY. Phantom Menace happens in 32
Wow.
BBY. So he's 25 years old. You're a really old Padawan kid. Go fly or fall, kid, but get out of the nest. We need another baby in here. But no, Qui-Gon was a true believer.
Mm-hmm.
He believed that the Force directed him to Naboo, which would then direct him to Tatooine, which would then direct him to this kid and this kid's house. He 100% believed the Force was leading him by the nose to something. And who is he to deny the Force? Qui-Gon was a Jedi.
Yeah.
And then, when the council was like, fuck you and fuck this kid, he was going to do it anyway.
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned, reminds me of part in the podcast where we kind of mentioned we didn't get to see like Anakin Skywalker go dark side. There was no evidence of it.
He was so sweet.
He was so sweet, but like I actually have to kind of disagree with that now in hindsight. I thought there was a moment of darkness where he was feeling cold, standing in front of the Jedi Masters. They were all treating him like shit, looking down at him.
Yeah, no, oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I wrote down some shit about that. Hold on. Here it is. Yeah, when they were testing Anakin and they're all like, hey, so are you like sad or something? You keep thinking about like your mom. What's up with that? And like, this child was a slave with a mom 2 days ago. 2 fucking days ago.
If that,
and
yeah.
and now he's standing in front of all you weird looking motherfuckers, and you're like quizzing him about shit. And he's cold. He's been cold since he left Tatooine because he's always lived in fucking heat, but also cold is a manifestation of the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah. And they're like, we sense a bunch of fear in you. Gee, you fucking think?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Like, they were intensely unempathetic. And yeah, I can see somebody with as sensitive a soul as little baby Anakin Skywalker kind of pulling away from that, and all the fear and everything. He's not like angsty dark side. He's scared, cold, alone, path to the dark side. I see what you. Yeah.
I love that. Cam,
I love it when little boys are scared and cold and alone.
no. I love your comment.
What are your
hate,
thoughts?
well, I still hate what the Jedi. I mean, this has been a reoccurring thing. This has never changed. I just didn't like how the Jedi Council treated Anakin.
Right.
And you know, I at the beginning of the podcast, I put so much of the blame on Obi-Wan, but that was totally.
You did.
Well, I was wrong. There. Boom. Okay, it's not such a big deal when I do it, Steph, because I do it all the time. It's called. It's also called homework.
But but what I really like about when you say that you were wrong is that implied is that I was right. And that.
Sure.
But no, Obi-Wan.
You're just fucking glowing right now. Look at the aura that is like surrounding you.
Obi-Wan was definitely, you know, a victim of the circumstances as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you blamed Obi-Wan, so then.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a shared responsibility. Now, I also agree with you that, like, at a certain age, Anakin is responsible for his own choices, right?
Grown-ass man, yeah.
But he was not it was definitely not a grown-ass man here.
Ittle bitty boy.
And he was
little bitty
basically
Jake Lloyd-shaped boy.
And basically a teenager in Attack of the Clones. So those are the... And in neither one of those movies did we see Anakin get fair treatment, in my opinion, from the Jedi Masters. So, yeah. So that's kind of one of my biggest... one of the biggest changes in my perspective on the Star Wars story. And it made the Obi-Wan-ness of this movie a lot more tolerable.
Obi-Wan, you know, he's 25, so he's a grown-up. But also, if you watch, this is the first time I really noticed this. He's also, you know, he's a grown-up, but he was raised by Qui-Gon. And so, did you notice Qui-Gon's parenting methods, as demonstrated with Anakin, which we're running into a live fire battle? Find somewhere to hide or something. Fucking, I don't know.
And then go, psh.
Yeah. And then like, oh, you're in the cockpit of a ship with an astromech droid installed. Stay right there. Like, he's constantly telling Anakin, just shut up, watch, listen, because I can't directly teach you. But also, I don't know, man, fucking rub some dirt on it. Like, I feel like Obi-Wan didn't get a whole lot of guidance. Qui-Gon's great. Qui-Gon's fucking great. Not a helicopter parent.
No, but I do think that, I mean, I do think he was a strict parent in a lot of ways. Like we saw at the beginning of the movie where, you know, Obi-Wan's like, I sense something dark and blah, blah, blah. And Qui-Gon's like, hey, right here, keep your focus right here.
Right.
But Master Yoda said, I don't care what Master Yoda said. I really don't. I really, really don't.
Master Yoda's kind of a dick right now. So.
Yeah. At this point, Master Yoda is a gross looking puppet. I don't want to deal with him. So
I watched the version on Disney Plus where there is no gross. Yeah, they retroactively fixed it with CGI.
Thank God. That was probably the biggest mistake I thought that Lucasfilm ever
terrible.
made. Yeah.
Like how? Why? What were you thinking?
What were you thinking?
It was awful. The original Yoda puppet was fucking awful. It was very shit because it's like it's trying to, like, how do we bridge? How does one Yoda age so dramatically in 30 years? He's supposed to be 900. I think he can just look as old as he does in the original trilogy in this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, we should move on. Do you have any other questions?
Oh, yeah. William asks, are there any specific callbacks or moments that get paid off in Clone Wars that you appreciate more in the perspective of going back directly to Phantom Menace? That's a heavy one. We got a lot of heavy questions from our patrons.
Well, I mean, everything to do with Toydarians
Mm.
as that pays off in the Clone Wars, because we've got Watto in this, and Watto's the only Toydarian we knew until the Clone Wars. And Watto, who is his? Because he's a voice actor because he's CG. Oh, I wrote it down. Voiced by Andrew Seckham.
Oh.
And I don't have any additional information on him. But Watto was specifically designed. He flies all the time, which, by the way, I found interviews where people were giving George Lucas shit for Watto flying when his wings are too small to be levitating the size of his body. And George Lucas was like, his belly is full of gas, so he's floating. So technically he's not flying. He's like a blimp. He's floating. And like, okay, totally not your plan going into this.
No.
But way to cover your ass. But also the story with Watto was that the reason he flies everywhere he goes is because one of his legs is busted. Like he's a little crippled. And so when you see him hanging, like one of his legs always hangs a little bit lower and stuff, and like his tusk is broken and he's all bleh, and he's so fucking scummy. So it was really interesting to see how Clone Wars shows us, King Katunko, King Dick Nose, and all due respect to King Katunko, R.I.P. great man. But that showed us that Toydarians fly. They just fucking fly all the time. That's not Watto having a bum leg. That's just Toydarians flying. And no, they're not all disgusting like him. In fact, Watto is clearly an outlier. Like he is not typical of the Toydarians peoples at all. And I thought that was really cool.
I actually had a similar answer to the Dugs. Sebulba is a fucking prick. And,
but so are the rest of the Dugs.
And the Dugs are pricks too, but like they had a warrior honor thing kicking that I really liked, and Sebulba was so dishonorable.
It's almost like scum and villainy is what's washing up on Tatooine, and the people that end up on Tatooine are outliers and are not prime examples of their race.
Yeah, I think the biggest payoff for me was Maul. We got no Maul.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We got zero personality. Great lightsaber fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you realize Maul was only in episode 1, The Phantom Menace, for 6 minutes?
Total?
6 minutes of screen time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That including the lightsaber fight?
Yeah.
And they made lunchboxes, action figures, the whole movie trailer.
Girl, they went so far with this. Okay, so of course that's Ray Park. Physically, that's Ray Park. Itty bitty Ray Park, who is lying about his height on Google. There's no way he's actually 5'9".
No way.
Because Ewan McGregor is 5'10", and I'm watching these fight sequences, and like Ewan McGregor, Ray Park, Liam Neeson,
Yeah.
Because Liam Neeson's 6'4", so there's a 6-inch difference between him and Ewan McGregor. Anyway, but Ray Park is fucking menacing and amazing and delightful to watch, the physicality. But do you know who was doing the voice of Maul?
No, it wasn't him.
No,
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Do you remember the X-Men movies? The way Toad talked in X-Men?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how Ray Park talks.
That
was Ray Park's voice. Okay.
Okay. So okay, cool.
So the voice that we do get from Maul in his like 20-second scene where he's on the balcony with Sidious, that is Peter Serafinowicz. You know him, and I know him. In Guardians of the Galaxy, he is Denarian Saul, aka the guy who says, "What a bunch of a-holes." That's the voice of Darth Maul in episode 1.
I love that, man. That's awesome.
And if you go back and listen to it, the way he talks in episode 1, I mean, I've never heard confirmation of this, but there's no way that that's not absolutely what inspired Sam Witwer's voice for Maul. Where it's soft spoken. He's got like a British accent that none of the other Dathomir boys have. He's just a little bit more refined.
Well, all the time on Coruscant,
But here's the thing. Maul, Peter Serafinowicz recorded way more lines for Maul than they used in the movie. Tons more. He had a whole ass monologue about fear and how fear is the thing that is guiding him to greatness in the galaxy. The only time we ever saw it was in one TV spot that they did. Because again, this dude with fucking 6 minutes of screen time was the primary focus of all the ads for Phantom Menace. So there's a whole ass commercial. I'll throw it up on the TikTok at some point. There's a whole ass TV spot with Maul talking you don't see his lips move. It's just the voiceover over like Maul doing shit. But that was how they advertised it. They totally played it up like this fucking badass Sith was going to do stuff and we were going to see him talking about fear. And that was a lie.
That's funny. So like, yeah, and I remember going into it like I had conversations with friends after they heard our episode, and they were like, "You," and these were friends from high school, and they were like, "Do you remember how we thought that Maul was going to be like the key villain for all three movies?"
Right?
And then he just dies in the first one. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. And thank God Clone Wars swooped in and was like, we'll just take these pieces right here. We're gonna go do something with that. Rebuild him because he was so fucking cool.
Side note stuff. That actor, he did the you know how they did new audiobooks for the Terry Pratchett's Discworld? He has done a few of them. And it's fucking marvelous.
Okay.
I strongly recommend checking him out. Let me see if I can find.
God damn it. No, I gotta pull it up.
Yeah, I gotta find it too. Let me find it real quick. Discworld. World books.
He was in the Tick. He was in the Tick.
He was in the Tick?
He was the Tick. 2016 to 2019.
He's done The Color of Magic, The Light Fantastic, Small Gods,
Amazing,
Equal Rights. Like my favorite, the one I heard was Weird Sisters. That one was fucking great. So anyway, but there are different voice actors in the books, so it's not just him. But yeah. Anyway,
so yeah, I think it's picking up the pieces. The thing that Clone Wars does best is pick up the pieces from the prequels and make them better.
Yeah.
And flesh them out, and like those specific pieces, absolutely fucking great.
Okay. Last question, and then we're gonna move to the Patreon exclusive content. Cameron wrote to us.
Hey, Cameron.
Maybe a discussion of how when the prequels first came out, the fandom Menace folks were all up in arms about the politics. Like they were mad at how many Senate scenes we got, but now the vast majority of people really enjoy those scenes, or at least appreciate them for what they do for the story. I feel like the assholes latch onto any change from Star Wars precedent and make hating their whole personality. You are correct, Cameron.
100%. Yeah. No,
yeah, we hate them.
Because a lot of our listeners are younger than us, and were perhaps not adults at the time that the Phantom Menace came out. But we were. I mean, this is 99. I was 19 years old. I absolutely remember everything, all of the bullshit surrounding this movie. And yeah, no, they were pissed. They're like, what's with this girl, and why is she talking, and what Senate trade routes? And like, I remember from our podcast episode, I was uninspired by the opening crawl because it's just not exciting at all. And like, in retrospect, from the perspective of the full story, that opening crawl is the only way this could have started, because that's how wars get started. Somebody decides to put a ship in between you and your food, and now we have a war. So but no, there was endless bitching about the amount of politics and how it wasn't, a space opera adventure anymore, or whatever.
Well, I mean, the biggest hate by far in my other than Jar Jar Binks,
I was about to say Jar Jar,
but it was all the hate poor Jake Lloyd got.
Fuck yeah, right.
And
it was evil.
It was straight up evil. When I heard that there were 2 child actors that are going to play really important characters in Obi-Wan Kenobi, I was fucking scared for them. And the little girl who played Leia, what a magnificent actress. Carrie Fisher would be so proud of her. But she did get some hate. I mean, there was pieces of shit on YouTube making jokes about her dying and being abused 2 weeks after a school shooting. So
because they keep it classy.
Because they keep it classy.
I don't know why. I don't like. Are you just mad because they are absolutely 100% living your dream, that you would have crawled over a mile of broken glass to be a little kid in a Star Wars project? Like, maybe, but I don't know. I hope somebody loves them someday. But clearly, when they are speaking on these children and speaking hate at them, they're not speaking from a place of being a human being who loves other human beings. But no, the hate that Jake Lloyd got was intense and incredibly dehumanizing. Like, that was just a little boy. That wasn't some kid who came to to stomp on your face and steal your childhood dream and go ruin Star Wars for you. He had never acted before in his life. He's never acted since.
Mm-hmm. Don't blame
because they
him.
fucking traumatized him.
Yeah.
They fucking ruined his life. Like, oh my God. And it wasn't just the fandom menace. Like, he was bullied by other kids at school because, again, he got to live the dream they didn't. I really think it all comes from jealousy.
I agree with you. And, you know, like you said, he's just a kid. He did exactly what the director told him to do.
Exactly.
And so, my feeling is if you legit hate something, why would you give it more energy? Why not just move on and embrace stuff that you do love?
Mhm.
Why would you waste all your time hating and attacking people? What a sick fucking thing to do. And it's
Right.
completely disgusting. And I know all the YouTube creators and podcasters that do that shit. They can get a big audience because negativity.
They're doing it for the money. Yeah.
They're doing it for the money, but fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the worst reason to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even because it's not even your sincerely held belief. You're just saying it because you know it'll get you more clicks. You fucking fuckers. But it wasn't just Jake Lloyd, Ahmed Best, Jar Jar.
Oh God, yeah.
The amount of hate that he got. And it's because, here's what it is. The fandom menace that mobilized so hatefully against episode 1 were the ones who were kids when the original trilogy came out. So that had been 20 years, something about that. And they grew up, but the franchise didn't grow up with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same people who were kids when the prequels came out and hate the sequels because they grew up chronologically anyway. I wouldn't say that they grew up as humans, but they grew up and the franchise didn't grow up with them. It's still a space opera for kids. So yes, there's going to be a little boy in it. And yeah, there's going to be some silly ass motherfucker with a muscular tongue running around being ridiculous. But I've come a long way on my Jar Jar Binks opinion. So
I know.
I've evolved a lot on that point. I actually really enjoyed him in this rewatch going through it. I really enjoyed Jar Jar. Because guess who's the only person that seems to give a fuck about what Padme's going through?
It's Jar Jar.
He's the only one who's like, I'm just a dude. I'm not a politician. I have no powers or anything. I'm really sorry that all your people are dying. That sucks. Can I help? Can I go back again to the society that exiled me and has threatened me with extreme punishment if I ever set foot on their door again and try and ask them to come and talk to you, even though they hate you, so we can save your people? He fucking did that. The first time I watched episode 1, I was like, you made this motherfucker a general? He earned it.
Yeah. They were successful. They were just a diversion. They were never meant to win that battle.
No. Of course you put that idiot as the general of the group that is probably all supposed to die anyway. You know?
Yeah, save the good generals are not going out to that battlefield.
No. Captain Tarples, though, that poor bastard had to be out there.
That poor man.
I love him, though.
I love him. I miss him. You know, that did remind me something I forgot to mention in our last episode, Dark Side Divas. I miss the fucking battle droids. There was not a lot of battle droidness in season 6. Yeah.
And it was so weird hearing the battle droids talk in this movie because I've been hearing, Matt Wood. Is it Matt Wood that does the voice of the battle droids in Clone Wars?
Roger.
Anyway, I've been hearing Clone Wars battle droid voices for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
To go back to episode 1, and it's like,
they're different. There are different voices coming out.
In fact, it was weird to hear Yoda talk.
Yeah. Even
though that is Frank Oz, that's the original voice of Yoda. I've been listening to Tom Kane as Yoda for 2 years. So it was very weird to go back. But anyway, the fandom menace was fucking awful. And it's just because Star Wars dared to still be Star Wars when it came back out. And they saw it as change, and it fucking wasn't change.
Mm-mm.
And then when the sequels came out and they were like, okay, we saw what you guys hated about the prequels. We're going to give you a new hope again.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that's The Force Awakens is a new hope because it's poetry, it rhymes, the stories come back around and they come back around. And so we're having the same story again with with The Force Awakens. They're like, we're going to give you episode 4 all over again. That's what you wanted last time, right? Oh, you still hate it? Is it
Yeah.
because she's a girl? It's because
Mm-hmm.
she's a girl, isn't it? Okay.
Because
Okay.
there's a
Well, there's no
girl and
making you people happy.
there's a black stormtrooper. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Bigot's gonna bigot.
Bigots are
And
gonna
that's
bigot.
and the fandom menace gonna be the fandom menace. So
Yeah. So Steph, something that we're gonna do for the rest of our this episode, and Quinn, another patron of ours, set it up perfectly.
Oh.
Quinn asked, "This could be too much to do, but I'd love to hear a discussion highlighting what you said in the original episode that you recorded, and how your perspective on this movie may have changed." Steph, I took thorough notes of our our episode, and so I have my own list of observations that I'd like to run through with you.
I have a bare bones list of like some cool trivia that I found that I hadn't found before, and some like stuff that stuck out to me differently. But I figured you were gonna have some shit to say.
So I want to go to like basically the two first statements you and I made during the episode. One,